Hello, I am Brian Foster, and I'm talking about Spiritism. It was codified by Allan Kardec in the 1850s. The Spirit of Truth, as promised in the New Testament, organized a group of spirits to talk to different mediums to give information to Allan Kardec in answers to 1,019 questions all about heaven, the spirit world, and spirits. It's fascinating reading. But today I'm talking about a book called Through the Mist, and you'll find a link for it down in the description of this video. It is a fascinating book, and many of the things it says, it parallels what Spiritism tells us. Now, this book was written, actually it was psychographed, so the spirit, who wished to remain nameless, died in an accident in the late 19th century. He sent this book to a medium. And I'm taking out of this book certain areas that I think is very interesting, and I want to present them to you so you can think about what a person in heaven is asking and finding out from a different perspective. So, while in heaven, the spirit author, seeing the recently passed coming face to face with their mistakes and wrongdoings, was surprised that these souls would have to atone. So, what am I talking about today then? Mercy and justice in heaven. This was very fascinating to him, and I think it should be fascinating to us. He wished to understand why there isn't mercy for the wrongs these people committed. He asked the director of the Healing Center, and I quote, "But where do we find mercy and forgiveness in the administration of such inexorable justice?" And this is the answer he got. "Every attribute of God has its legitimate sphere of operation," he replied, "and the inviolate maintenance of each in its appointed order is essential to the continuance of the Almighty in all-wise perfection of our Father. But it is impossible for any one of these to usurp the jurisdiction of another. Suppose for a moment that mercy was allowed to withstand justice and prevail in any single instance. The immediate result would be an injustice, since to show mercy to the offender would be an injustice to the offended, unless in turn you show him mercy too. Carry this to its logical sequence, and you'll be compelled to abolish justice in favor of mercy, in which case punishment and retribution would become an impossibility. Law would be a dead letter, and sin, freed from fear or restraint, would revel in its license. But when we see the workings of the attributes of God according to his divinely appointed plan, we find how infinitely wise has been the adaptation to the necessities of the human family in its development." End quote. He found out that mercy pleads, while justice is the final arbiter. Mercy allows justice to understand the wrong from all angles and places it in context of the person, state of spiritual maturity, and other circumstances. The director explained that mercy is vital, especially in a region as backwards as Earth. In the beginning stages of humanity, they are just learning how to use and be guided by their conscience. Their notions of right and wrong are embryonic. If on Earth one followed the letter of the law, there would be constant need of atonement, with the young spirit not able to grasp the lesson offered. Because the foundational knowledge of the correct versus the incorrect path is not robust enough. Hence, mercy understands the beginning, present, and possible future of the trespasser, and justice rules accordingly. Justice in the spirit realm is not a punishment for a crime, but a required correction for the wrongdoing. In the perfect justice of the spirit realm, there is no need for mercy, since all is taken into account. Hence, the accumulation of corrections needed to ensure we learn not to commit that which was counterproductive to our growth as a spirit is the building block of the plan for our future life. The gathering of rulings pertaining to our mistakes in one life direct the trials and tribulations of the next. This is karma. Karma and reincarnation is the factory through which we must travel to fully remove our character imperfections and replace them with civilized ideals and emotions. It may be beneficial to realize that our actions in this life will directly affect the blueprint for our next life. The severity of the episodes that we must live through in a future existence is entirely up to us. You may wish to understand more about reincarnation and karma. I suggest you read my book, The Case for Reincarnation, Your Path to Perfection. God bless.